as I said, we don't imagine how much the pain, the valence of the pain, when the need is not fulfilled. We can't imagine. It's like adults will have to cry and cry and cry and be in that pain for a long time before sometimes they can even go to the need, because as we stop feeling the pain, the need is buried. And so now the need here at birth is buried completely, need to be born the right way. We already have extraordinary pain here and physiological changes. So already the baby has extraordinary pain on the first line. Then as we grow up and the baby is not really loved for the way it should be, then the pain that was registered on the first line is represented on the second line and compounded. A child who could not be born, who is learned physiologically, the imprint is like, I can't make it. No matter what I do, I can't make it. Is going to grow up now in a family where nobody's paying attention to what he does anyway. So it doesn't matter what he's doing because he knows that he's not going to make it. So maybe he'll stop trying. Maybe he won't be trying to, learn or do whatever he needs to do so that people will pay attention. He'll give up. That will be a child who maybe have an imprint as giving up trying to get what he needs. The other one, the one who was being born because he was struggling and struggling and struggling and finally made it, that child is always on the combat. And again, I'm taking just two tendencies. We all are made of millions of minutes and various things that happen to us. But the major tendencies, the second child, the one that was born because he was fighting and finally made it, that child has learned physiologically, his imprint is, if I fight, I'll make it. I'll get what I want. So now, on the second line, that child is going to keep on trying to get what he needs, which doesn't mean he's going to get it, but he's going to keep on trying. So if he doesn't get it, if he gets it, he's not going to be in therapy, he's going to be a happy camper and everything is going to work well for him. But if he doesn't get what he needs, then again, either he'll keep trying or he will stop trying. But every time he will need something and he doesn't get it, again, there will be pain. And in the end, when all this pain is accumulated, and by the way, as we grow up, we reroute constantly our needs into pain that cannot be felt and is repressed. What that means is that the child cannot change its circumstances. When he's in pain, or when his needs are not fulfilled, he cannot say, okay, I'm going to change parents, because those don't love me, so I'm going to go somewhere else and get other parents. He's stuck. So the only way to survive is not to feel the pain. Because feeling the pain for a child on that level would be extremely destructive. The child has to keep living in that environment. Why can you feel the pain in primal? You are no longer subjected to your parents' control. You're no longer with them, and now you have an adult physiology. Now you have the strength of it. For a child, and as you know, we cannot even feel the whole feeling in one piece. It's too much pain. So the only defense the child has is to repress. His brain is sending those endorphins that are going to actually gate the pain and repress the pain in the unconscious. So now when the pain is repressed in the unconscious, now this is what happens. The trauma of birth and the first line birth is blocked, is repressed. The second line needs that we have not fulfilled, repressed. And the third line, same thing. As we keep growing up and we have pain, we have to keep on repressing all the time until once we finally are an adult, all we are is a bunch of repressed feelings. The problem with those repressed feelings is that they need to be felt. They exert a force. When we needed to be loved, when we needed to be touched, we still need it, whether it's repressed or not. We need it because that is who we are as human beings. So in order to repress, we have to do many things. We have to have a behavior that will not get us close to the pain. Because the minute we get close to the pain wants to come up. The pain is like an unnatural element that lives in us. So it needs to come out all the time. The natural thing for an organism is to get what it needs. If you're hungry and you don't eat, you are in pain. And if you don't eat more, you're going to die. If you don't drink, you're going to die. If you are stuck in a little box and you can't grow, you're going to die. It's the same for love. If we do not have what we need to develop harmoniously, if nobody listens to us, talks to us, is attentive to us, takes us in our arms, we're going to die. Psychologically, we're going to die. We're going to become somebody else. And that somebody else is going to be all the need, all the pain, and all that is going to be repressed. Now, throughout our life, on the second line, as a child, in order to repress, we had to go away from the pain. In other words, we cannot come close. If we know our parents are not interested, we're not going to try to make them interested. Or on the contrary, we're going to keep on trying. But little by little, that behavior is going to spill out in the world because we have to keep repressing that pain. So we have to keep acting out or acting in. People who cut themselves, people who self-mutilate, people who destroy their life, actually physically or psychologically, it's really acting in. And then acting out is what we do so that we don't come close to the pain. I was mentioning it last time, this example of the person who, the minute she likes somebody, she pretends she doesn't, she just goes the other way. Well, that's a perfect way never to get anything you want, because you're giving the other signal. You're giving the signal that belongs to your past. And when we act out, when the behavior is not enough to defend us from the pain, because life does bring pain to all of us, then we grab everything we can. It could be that we become promiscuous, or it could be that, by the way, because our sexuality was already modified before birth and during birth, because our system went and opening up, having an orgasm means having first line coming out. Or we're going to become promiscuous and try to get love through sex. And again, I'm taking very, very opposite, very simple example. And so our behavior is going to be the result of this. Birth, first line, but it's going to branch out, because as we grow up, we have more and more events that are going to keep on shaping us. All the things that happen to us, we're going to react to all those things with what our imprint already is. And it's going to keep on being compounded by everything that's happening. By the time we're here, on the third line, and we have a cortex, that cortex is the result of everything that we've known. All our imprint from birth to childhood to adulthood. So now our marriages don't work, our sexuality is deviated, we can't relax, we don't like people, we can't love, we are acting out all over the place. And the result usually is, if there is a lot of pain, that none of that works, because the pain is still in there. The pain is like a monster that is pulling the strings, and we're like a little puppet going around life, trying to find solution, trying to live, trying to feel good, trying to be happy, but we don't know how, because who we really are is all along there. It's buried, it's repressed, it's rerouted in millions of ways.